the agencies were definitely part of that insurrection. But wait a minute. You impeached a man for that. Yeah. You impeached a man for that. Yeah. But you were involved in that. Yeah. What's the problem? So the Durham report comes out and says there was absolutely no basis to open those investigations against Donald Trump.
The long-awaited report from special counsel John Durham was made public this week, accusing the FBI of using raw, unanalyzed, and uncorroborated intelligence to launch its 2016 probe into the Trump campaign's ties to Russia, and concluding that the Bureau should never have opened a full investigation. Here's former Attorney General Bill Barr this week on Durham's findings.
Both the press and the FBI abandoned any semblance of professionalism and took up the cause with a vengeance. And I think the real story here from the FBI's perspective is what an abomination this was, this so-called investigation. If it wasn't a witch hunt, it's a damn good imitation of one.
There was no basis for the investigation. This includes the Robert Mueller investigation. All nonsense. Durham found out, reported it, just the facts. Everyone knew there was no Russian collusion before the investigations. Everyone in the agencies, and everyone in the high-up government, everyone who looked into it knew that it was BS. But they did it anyway. That sounds like collusion. So when Trump says, the system is rigged, they dismiss it as a conspiracy theory. When he says the election was rigged, they laugh it off and say, oh my God, that's the big lie. He's pushing the big lie again. Don't vote for him. Everything circles back to don't vote for Trump. Russia. He's a bad person. He's racist. Look at all these. He's been impeached. You can't trust this guy. He comes with too much baggage. Where'd the baggage come from? It was all manufactured. All of it. They admitted it. But they admitted it in 2023. And it's coming out now, heading into the 2024 election, but they're still saying, he's got too much baggage. I don't want to hear about 2020. Well, if you don't talk about 2020, you're ignoring that it can happen again in 2024. If you don't talk about 2016, you're ignoring how 2020 happened. But you have conservatives now in that ilk. They've been duped. It is what it is. Republicans, most of them hated Trump this whole time anyway. Doesn't matter. They don't care. They want him gone. They don't ever want to talk about him anymore. My problem is with the conservatives who've been duped. And now there's proof that you've been duped. Because the conservative talking point now is he can't win. Well, why can't he win? He's got too much baggage. He gets in his own way. Why? By defending himself? Yes. He needs to focus on 2024. That is the worst possible advice anyone could give a man who was wrongfully accused of things. Defending himself, and with the Durham report having come out now, proving there should have never been any Russia investigation because it was all based on lies. Mueller said the same thing, only Mueller said, well, we don't know for sure, there's just no proof. If the police pull you over and they have no reason, they got to let you go. They can't say, well, we're going to let you drive away, but we can't prove you didn't do anything. No, they let you go. That's what happened to Trump. We don't know if you weren't speeding when we weren't looking, though. Dun, dun, dun. It's ridiculous. So when he went out and said, hey, I've been cleared of all wrongdoing, they said, no, he has not. They just said they couldn't find anything. Black people were in a better situation overall. In every statistical category, every metric that can be gauged for success and failure, black people thrived under Donald Trump. We are in the exact opposite situation right now. We are dealing with inflation. We are dealing with things that just shouldn't be. There's no reason for it. Our government is choosing these things. They're choosing regulations that hurt the economy. It's nonsense. And black people need to remember where we were under Trump. Ignore all the racial garbage because they do that anyway. They're going to do that regardless. That's what the left does. They rely on that to keep us emotional. But think about where you were in life. in your pockets, spending time with your kids, making more money, owning homes. All of those things were better under Trump. The only thing that was worse is the political environment. Why? Because they control that. They can make anybody mad. They can have somebody choke out another person and make that a racial issue and make you mad and have you out in the streets protesting. It's not that you can't think, it's that what you see is bad, but you don't get the context for it. So they give you a context that is racism. If that had happened to a white guy, that's what they do. They play these games, and I think we need to ignore the games, and we need to pay attention to where we were in life just over 2 years ago. Everything was better. Even under COVID, it was better. Everything was better. And I've seen so many black people, and I love it. I've seen so many black people on my timeline saying, yeah, this is not cool.
If you are black or brown, if you consider yourself any of those things, even Asian, I can promise you this shit right here. Donald J. Trump would never put an illegal before your black, brown, or Asian, yellow ass, whatever the you want to call yourself. Donald Trump would never take money out the mouths of black people and put that in the mouths of a bunch of illegals. Ask the people in Chicago how they feel. So, when you ask me why I tell black people you need to vote for Donald Trump, is because obviously when you it didn't benefit you at all. It benefited a bunch of motherfuckers who broke the law and came here. You could never break the law. Think about it.
Asking for Trump to come back. But oddly enough, while my people are finally waking up and saying, yeah, I would rather be under Trump than what's happening right now.
I would go with Trump because Trump was out here helping us. You know, everybody criticized him and said all this bad stuff about him, and I ain't one to disagree with what they were saying, but at least he did help us. Biden gives us a bunch of dreams, words, but no actions come behind that. So that's the difference between him and Biden. You know, he actually made moves for the lower class to be able to get by in life. Biden just giving us promises that he's unbroken.
What everybody else is feeling, the rising prices, I think it's hitting everybody hard. It's a struggle right now. I was not in this position 2 years ago. Like the food prices are a little higher, gas, even rent prices have increased. So it's definitely a major difference from 2 years ago.
To be honest, we're going through it, but we're going to withstand it. But it's going to actually be a lot better, and a lot of people are going to actually vote for Trump that never thought. This Oak Cliff, Texas. Trust me, a lot of us will vote for him now than we did before because we went for the good guy saying the right things. But as soon as he got in office, he did everything wrong. He turned around every policy that Trump done and make us all going into where we are right now. So it's really, like they say, you have to go through something bad for the good to come out. We're going through the bad, but the good gonna come out.
Oddly enough, conservatives are now turning on Trump because they see a new shiny object over there in the corner. And what is their reason for supporting Ron DeSantis over Trump? Nothing wrong with wanting to support him, but over Trump. The reason is less baggage, which we now know was all created. Less baggage, and he doesn't tweet, which for some reason is a big deal. Not like Trump, he doesn't insult people unnecessarily. And he knows how to govern better. He's better with the politicians. Is that what we want? I thought that's what we did not want. Now that's what we want? Now we want a guy who's in that establishment. All the Bushes come out, and every rhino that we did not want in 2016 is now back supporting Ron DeSantis. And we're like, yeah, you know what? I think these guys are right. I like DeSantis. I like him. Over Trump? Yeah, oh yeah. Trump can't win. Okay. Why couldn't he win? Oh, you're talking about all the baggage that we now know what with certainty was manufactured. So instead of sticking by him and say, okay, now we have proof, we have a narrative that we can push back on and say, no. The Durham report said this. The Mueller report said this. Instead of doing that, we're gonna try to push him to the side for Trump 2.0, establishment Trump. Exactly what we did not want. They are promoting. No matter how bad he does in polls, and no matter how he's slipping versus Trump, because people see the contrast. They see him on his book tour. They're like, he seems kind of establishy. That's who conservatives now want over the guy who actually performed, who not legislated, but who ran this country better than any president of our lifetimes, and who did everything he said he was going to do. And if he didn't, he really tried, genuinely tried. So when you talk about judges, he literally accomplished what no other president has ever accomplished with judge appointments. You talk about foreign policy, amazing foreign policy. No wars, got us out of places. And he did everything we wanted. But we don't like the baggage. Interesting. Very interesting.